Hello, hope you're doing great. So, I'm going to move on to the next few pages. Last time I know that we bookmarked Canoeing in the Moonlight. So, I'm assuming you probably already finished that one. So, I'll move on to what's coming after. So, we have the F major scale now, which I'm certain that you've played before, but um, we're going to do it with the metronome at these three marks here. So, that's something that you could practice if you want to, but importantly, right, in every scale, there's a new tonic, dominant, and leading tone. So we should learn those. Excuse me. We should learn those in the key of F. So the first note of any scale is the tonics, right, or is the tonic. So now, in the key of F, F is our tonic here. Okay, and then the fifth note is the dominant, so that would be C. And then the leading tone now, which is the seventh note, also a half step below the tonic again. It's going to be E. Right? So as silly as it is, you should write those into these blanks here. Kind of memorize which one is which. Kind of ignore this, and then just write in which note is the tonic, dominant, and leading tone. Right there. Now I don't think you have to do this traveling thumb thing because you've already played the F scale in the past. So really, all you need to be ready to do is play this exactly as written. I think we did that with the G scale as well, and we'll use the metronome when you come in, right? So, but of course, as a reminder, if you haven't done the F scale in a little while, you're going to do 4 fingers and then thumb under if you're doing your right hand. Okay, so thumb under here onto C. So you'll notice that means you never use your pinky on your right hand ever with this scale, even if you do multiple octaves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. But the left hand is going to be just like every other scale we've learned. All right, it's going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And third finger goes over. And on the way down, 1, 2, 3, thumb under. So I'm not too concerned about that since you've done that before. And then that brings us over to here, Turkish March, but not not that one. This one is one by Beethoven. Let's see, key signature warm up. Oh, I see. So we're in the key of F here, as you can imagine, because we just learned the F scale a page ago, but which we can tell by the single flat in the key signature. And they want you to trace in the rest of the key signatures for the rest of the piece, which is a good idea because you want it to make sure it's on the right line and everything. Okay, let's see here. Is there anything else new in this one? Not really, but I would say with Beethoven especially, accent marks are gonna matter a ton, like more than usual. So for example, in the beginning, right, if I play it without the accent marks, it just sounds like this, which sounds a lot like Mozart, honestly. But with the accent mark, it's going to give it that sort of like, Beethoven German kind of music feel, right? So, right, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, right? It's like a really spirited march. Same thing here. Oh, sorry, it's actually mezzo piano, so it shouldn't be quite that loud, but. Yeah, I mean, Beethoven in particular is really famous for his use of accent marks and like sudden volume changes. Although what he actually used, he didn't use he did use accent marks, but he used a lot of what are called subito fortes, which means suddenly loud. So he would just write that under certain notes that he wanted to be loud. So it's kind of interesting because strictly speaking, subito forte means suddenly loud and then stay loud, but he didn't use it like that. He just meant just for this one note, we're going to be forte suddenly. So kind of like an accent mark, but right. So if I play page 2 without paying attention to the accent marks, sounds like this. Which is fine, but we really want it to be more exciting than that. There we go. All right. And then we have this question at the bottom, which when you find it, circle it, but it's where did Beethoven write an accidental in this march? The main point of that question, I think, is just to remind you that the word accidental exists, which is, I think we learned it recently, or maybe you already knew it, but that's going to be any sharp, flat, or natural that's added to the music that was not already in the key signature. Okay, so that one's honestly not too bad. I think it's mostly just to get you used to playing in the key of F. So let me go over one more here. Let's see. Yeah, I guess we better do this. Let me just check how we're doing on time. Okay, yeah, we got time. So the three most important chords in any major key are going to be the 1, 4, and the 5. And we usually add some extra spiciness to the 5 by making it a 5-7. So 1, 4, and 5, 7. So let's do these chords here. We're starting with the left hand. It says, say the chord symbols aloud as you play each chord. Notice the fingering. Fingering's important here. Practice and memorize the 1, 4, and 5, 7 chords in the key of F. Notice the leading tone to tonic is marked in red. So anytime the leading tone goes up to the tonic again, they've marked it here. All right, so our 1 chord is pretty easy. It's just an F chord. And then for the 4 chord, it's a B flat chord, right? B flat is the 4th note of F. 1, 2, 3, 4. But again, we're not going to play it up here. We're going to rearrange those notes. So that's why it's down here. So we got in order F, B flat, and D, right? And then back to our 1 and our 5, 7. Again, remember 5, when you see Roman numeral 5, it's just saying the 5th note of the scale. So in other words, this chord is also just called C7 because C is the 5th note of the scale in this case, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, the full, you don't have to have any of these details memorized, by the way. It's just kind of as a reminder of where we get these weird names. But if you go to the 5th and you start stacking notes until you get to a 7th, that's called C7. And again, they've gotten rid of one of the notes and they've rearranged the remaining ones. And that's where we get 5, 7. So we have our 1 chord, and our 4 chord, and 1, 5, 7, 1. There we go. So again, you can just replace any of the Roman numerals with what letter they're talking about. And that will also be a correct way to name that chord. So, if it says it's a 1 chord, that means it's an F chord. If it says it's a 4 chord, that means it's a B flat chord. Right? Like we said, for 5, 7, that is actually C7, and that is the proper name for that chord is C7. Okay. So, right hand, same kind of thing, except when you get to the 4 chord, you're going to use your middle finger. So right here. There we go. So not too bad, but just make sure you're saying that out loud. So 1, 4, 1, 5, 7, 1. And there we go. All right. Let me think here. Let's check the time again. Oh yeah, we haven't got enough time to go over this. So this is really just a song to get you familiar with those 3 primary chords. The rhythm's a little awkward though, so I would recommend counting along. Although you said that you listen to these as well, so that'll definitely come in handy. But I don't know, see if you can figure out the rhythm on this one before you hear it, and then when you do hear it, you can check if you got it. And the way I would do that is by writing in where all the beats go, right? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Although I am about to play it, so I guess now would be the time if you want to pause and just try to figure out that first measure, the rhythm, and then you can check if you got it right. It's all F chords in that first measure, so. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and spoil it here. So it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So a little bit of a weird rhythm there, and we do have some accents there as well. but not too bad. So that's really, yeah, just to get used to all those chords right there. I think that's probably plenty of material for 1 week. So that would be the F scale, and then these two songs in the key of F. But let me think here. Yeah, if you have any questions in the meantime, though, best way is to ask is to either leave a comment on Opus, or you can even text the front desk and just say, hey, could you ask Alec or could you forward this question to Alec, and then they'll hand it over to me. All right, have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time.